everyone, my name is Leanna and I'm a full-time reseller, and today we are talking about what a $10 sale will actually earn you across 5 different platforms. If you like this kind of content, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. A couple of things first, a couple of disclaimers. I am only doing basic math here. We're talking about packaging materials and we're talking about fees on the platforms. We're not talking about the time involved it takes you to prep and list and do whatever it is you need to do with the item. We're not talking about the gas involved in sourcing or in delivering the item to the carrier that you choose to use. We're kind of doing basic math. We're not even talking about the cost of goods, because at the end, when I show you what each platform will let you earn, you should be able to do the math with the cost of goods to figure out whether there's profit left for you there. Okay, so we are going to start with packaging. The $10 sale I am talking about was a shirt, so I'm showing you what I use to package up a shirt on the platforms. Not all platforms get the same treatment, which we'll get into. So first off, we have suffocation bag. I actually use these bags as my inventory bags. You can seal them. I choose not to because I want to reuse and reuse and reuse these bags. And not every package gets one. I will put the item in a suffocation bag first if it is going to be in transit for a long time, because it just gives that extra added layer of protection. It makes me feel more confident in sending it out. These cost me 13 cents per bag. The next item we're going to talk about is tissue paper. I use white tissue paper that I source from a office supply company called Keypack. I use 2 sheets because it is white. It just, to me, it gives a more professional finish. These cost me 5 cents per sheet. I use 2, so that's 10 cents. These I only use on Poshmark and on Vinted. I don't use them on eBay or whatnot. The next item we're going to talk about are my business cards. So these are my Poshmark cards. They are 2-sided. I thought they were really pretty. I like this design. They're not all that practical, but then this is our eBay one. It is blank on the back. These business cards cost us about 4 cents per card, so 4 cents per package for Poshmark and eBay. I don't have cards for the other ones. The next thing we're going to talk about are thank you cards. Now with eBay, because it's blank, I write the thank you on the back of this, and it's a little handwritten, thank you very much for your purchase. That's about it. Thank you cards for everything but eBay. I thrift. Absolutely, I thrift these. These were thrifted. They go into the higher end sort of packages that I have. But for a $10 sale, I would use something like this. So these come from scrapbook paper that I thrift. This one cost me $5. It was pretty much a full thing. Pretty paper. I love it. I cut each sheet into about 9 pieces, this big. They stamp them. The stamp, the ink, everything totally thrifted, in around the 2 cent mark per package. And one of these goes into everything but eBay. The last thing we're going to talk about are the poly mailers, because a shirt will go into a poly mailer. This size cost me 26 cents. So that is the general packaging. I did not include my shipping label, honestly, because I just forgot about it. And I mean, we use a laser printer. Laser? Right, honey?
Nope.
What's it called?
Thermal.
Thermal. We use a thermal printer. We use a Dymo. So it's pennies per label, just so you know. So for packaging, Poshmark, I have my notes. It's been a long day. I can't even tell you. Poshmark will cost me 55 cents per package. eBay is 43 cents per package. Vinted is 51 cents per package. And Whatnot is 41 cents per package. So next we're going to move on to the fees, because this is sort of probably the big expense when you are selling something. So on Poshmark Canada is 20% across the board. unless it is a sale under $20, and then they charge a flat fee of $3.95. Poshmark US, again, is 20%, unless it's under $15, then they charge a fee of $2.95. Also, if you are Canadian selling on Poshmark US, you pay a fee to your cross-border shipper for a package to be taken over the border. In this case, it would have been 80 cents for the package. On Vinted, Vinted has absolutely no seller fees. None whatsoever. The buyers pay all the fees. On Whatnot and on eBay, the fees are a little more complicated, so I'm going to try my best to explain them. So on Whatnot, you pay an 8% fee on the sale price, and then you pay a 2.9% fee on the total price including shipping, and a 30-cent fee on every single item sold. So what I've done is, because shipping is sort of fluctuates and variable, I just took it off the 10%. The $10. So I took the 8%, the 2.9%, and 30 cents off of the $10 sale. On eBay, it is a fee based on the final value fee, which again includes shipping. So, and it does fluctuate. It depends on the store subscription you may have or your rating as a seller. Top rated sellers get better final value fees. But a good rule of thumb is 12.5% on eBay, and that is what I used. So, on a $10 sale, what can you earn? And I've got something I'm going to put up there. So, you would, before cost of goods, on Poshmark Canada, you would earn $5.50. That's Canadian, and this does make a difference. On Vinted, you would earn $9.49, and that's Canadian. Posh US, you would earn $5.70 US. eBay would be $8.32 US, and Whatnot is $8.12 US, because we choose to use the US on Whatnot. So, just looking at those numbers, you are thinking, wow, look at how much that earned me on Vinted. But you know what? The bottom line isn't everything. You need to look at the opportunity to actually sell your item. So even though Vinted seems to be the best, the market is just in the country sort of you're in. So like Poshmark, I would only sell in Canada, and you would have a much smaller market. The audience for Vinted Canada is much smaller than it is for other platforms. And right now, Vinted is having major issues and headaches where they are blocking listings for no reason. They are banning sellers for they're not, I don't know if it's a glitch that's happening, that this is just randomly happening. Sellers are being shut down, and then they have to get reinstated. So for me, it was a headache. So you have to take that into consideration. It's a simple platform to learn, because it's basically listing it and then forgetting it in some ways. So it's not hard to learn. It's just that right now there's a lot of glitches, so I don't really trust the platform. Whatnot is a fairly newer platform, and it is live sales. So if you are not into doing a live show, it is not the platform for you at all. Also, it's also a platform that is very seller full, meaning that a lot of the buyers are sellers and they want really inexpensive items because they're sourcing that way. So right now, Whatnot is not a fabulous way to sell, because the prices that sellers are realizing are much lower than they would be on other platforms. On eBay, eBay is probably the oldest platform out there. It is the hugest, it is the biggest audience. It can be worldwide if you choose. There's a lot more trust involved with eBay because it is an established platform. So the chances of your item selling are that much greater on eBay. However, eBay also has the most competition for your item, and it is the I'm not going to say hardest, because it's once you learn eBay, it's not difficult. It's just there's a lot to learn. So that learning curve is there. But once you learn it, it's not very difficult. It's a little intimidating, but once you get into it, it's not bad at all. Poshmark has the highest fees totally across the board. The audience and markets for Poshmark is not horrible. It's bigger than Vinted. It's not nearly as big as eBay. It is bigger than Whatnot as well. They are heading into live shows, but I'm not sure about that yet, how that's going to affect anything. Poshmark is the simplest platform. It is really simple to use, to navigate, to learn, and I would actually recommend people learning on Poshmark. You can learn to take photographs and to do listings and about keywords and about taking measurements and how to deal with customers and things like that. Poshmark does make it very, very simple. They provide the shipping for you, so you really don't have to think too much about it. But my tip, if you are thinking about expanding and eBay intimidates you, but you sell on Poshmark, then take the packages that you do send out, weigh them, measure them, take note of the addresses, and then take that and make test sort of labels in USPS, in Canada Post, I can't say that properly, in Canada Post, or on your cross-border shipper, and learn how much those items are going to cost to ship on eBay. That will give you a better indication on how to set up your shipping on eBay. We use flat rate for the most part, and it's just been a learning curve. But if you're unsure about it, start weighing your things on Poshmark and just getting a feel for it, and it will help you. It will ease your nerves in some ways. So that is about it. I wouldn't recommend even really across the board selling items for $10. I know that for me, this sale that I did have, it ended up giving me no money in return, but it is an item that's been in my closet forever. And I would much rather go to a person that's really going to appreciate it than to be donating it to a thrift store that's going to mark up the price to make a profit. So that was just my way of thinking. When you do look at these final numbers, you are also thinking that Vinted is the most amount, but being a Canadian, when I can sell something in US dollars, it does add to the value. So $8.32 for eBay in American money is actually over $10 in Canadian. So that to me is a win-win. Another thing to keep in mind. That's about it. I did want to do this video because I feel that when we do what's sold, a lot of people don't talk about the nitty-gritty behind the sale. You know, it's all well and good to say, oh, I made $7,000 this month in sales, but that's not telling the whole story. There are costs involved. There's cost of packaging, cost of doing business, lots of things involved, and it doesn't really tell the whole story. And I wanted people to be more aware of that when somebody is talking about their sales, that's all they're talking about. And it's no indication about how successful they can be. That's it. I am done for today. I actually put my back out, so I am in a lot of pain right now. And I just really wanted to get this video out because I was excited about it. It is Friday. I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. I will be back probably Monday for sure. I have some good videos coming out. I'm excited to show you some things and talk about some things. But that's it. Everybody have a great weekend. I'll see ya. Bye. And I got